I have the honor to speak on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Singapore Foreign Service. Mr. Nathan had played a key role in the founding of both institutions. He joined MFA in December 1965 and helped our first foreign minister, Mr. Rajaratnam, to set up the ministry. He would leave MFA in 1978 to take on another important assignment. He returned to MFA in 1978 as our first permanent secretary. The then Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, gave him an ultimatum: transform MFA in 2 short years into a first-class outfit, or he will close it down and make it a part of the Prime Minister's office. It must have seemed like a mission impossible. I had known Mr. Nathan and worked closely with him since 1968. I regard him as my mentor and my comrade. In my eulogy, I will focus on his 3 enduring contributions. First, Mr. Nathan succeeded in transforming our foreign ministry in the short span of 2 years from no class to first class. As we all know, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew had very high standards. He made no allowance for the fact that we were a new ministry and that we were all learning on the job. He demanded that the output of our ministry should match the high standard of the output of the centuries-old British Foreign Office. Undaunted by the challenge, Mr. Nathan, with his never say die, can-do spirit, recruited some bright young officers to join him. He demanded discipline, hard work, and competence. Most of all, he demanded loyalty and dedication to duty. However, behind the tough exterior was a warm, kind, and loyal heart. A few months ago, he invited a group of these bright young officers, now grown old, to join him for lunch. He wanted to thank them for having helped him to succeed in his mission impossible, and to explain why he was such a demanding boss. It was a poignant occasion because we knew in our hearts that this would be the last reunion with the boss. Because of the strong foundation that he had laid, the Singapore Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Singapore Foreign Service are considered among the best in the world. Second, he taught us to be courageous and to defend Singapore's interests without fear or hesitation. As the Prime Minister has said, Mr. Nathan was himself a courageous man, as we saw in his heroic role in the Laju incident. He was our ambassador in Washington at a difficult time. The Michael Fay affair erupted during his watch. My American friends have told me how much they admired the calm and rational way in which he defended Singapore against vicious attacks. he held high the flag of Singapore. Because of his example and precept, although Singapore is a small country, it is a country which cannot be bullied by other countries, not even the major powers. One of the principles of our foreign policy is that Singapore will stand up for its national interests against any foe, big or small. Third, Mr. Nathan represented Singapore with great distinction as our High Commissioner to Malaysia and our Ambassador to the United States. However, his most important diplomatic role was as our sixth president. During his 12-year tenure, he visited more countries than all his predecessors combined. And here I must thank Mrs. Nathan for having accompanied him on all those exhausting visits. Through these state visits, Mr. Nathan strengthened our link with other countries, helped to expand our political and economic space, opened the door for economic opportunities for our business and industry. He had a flair for dealing with foreign leaders and foreign friends. Perhaps because of his training in social work, he had the ability to establish rapport with other people and to put them at ease. Mrs. Nathan will agree that Mr. Nathan had the memory of an elephant, and he could remember people he had met and befriended in his previous assignment, no matter how long ago those took place. He was able to convert his huge global network of friends into a global network of friends of Singapore. I shall conclude. Mr. Nathan will always be remembered as one of the founders of our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and our Foreign Service. Our success today is due to the strong foundation that he, Mr. Rajaratnam, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, and other pioneers had laid. He taught us to be courageous and to be fearless in defending the national interests of Singapore. Mr. S.R. Nathan was truly our super ambassador to the world.